Hello there, folks, and welcome back to what is probably, actually, I'm basically 100% sure, the last episode of Victoria 2, the Brazilian campaign. It's gone pretty well, and we're in the last 10 years. I'm actually really curious to see one thing. Apparently our population is... oh my god, suddenly there was a crash there. Our population is a total of 77 million. And adult male population is 19.25, which is pretty nice. And a big chunk of our population is actually in Guangdong here. What's interesting, though, is that apparently, if we look at all of Brazil, we still have about 50% farmers, which is realistic at this point. But we only have 14% craftsmen, even though I've been encouraging them. Like, you know, to the greatest amount I could, and then also administrative efficiency. Let's see. So this is going up. Not sure exactly why. From bureaucrats and state, 0%. Yeah. So and then culturally they are not Brazilian. So that's the question, because you have to have Brazilian bureaucrats to actually make these more efficient and then make them into states, and that would be really nice, of course. But we only have 10 years left, and I don't really mind. Migration wise, yes, this is what I was going to look at. Brazil is receiving, you know, huge amounts of people. In fact, yeah, actually quite a lot, but this is in the last 30 days, so we've only played a few days here. But from Asia we actually have lots of immigrants going to the rest of Brazil, which I can understand. Our sphere is looking excellent. Colombia again dropped out. We're friendly and discredited, but you know, we might be able to discredit the British for once. Let's discredit the British. Let's do it. Ooh, we gain a casus belli against Japan invasion through there, and then deploy the troops so and so. Interesting. Yeah, actually, that might be interesting. The only problem, though, is that they only have Japanese Micronesia to give, which doesn't have that many people and not really great resources, so it's not something that's technically worth it. I mean, they are allied with... oh, we still have a truce with them. Okay. Yeah, but, so that won't work. But it's fine. Whatever. 10-hour working day sounds pleasant. Let's pass that through. South America is almost entirely under our control. It's looking good. We're in line for that. I mean, I'd love to influence other countries across the world, but there's just so much conflict. Maybe the Netherlands? We'll see. Thing is, you know, the Europeans have a better chance of that because they're on the same continent. It's this whole continental thing which sort of bothers me. Colombia, welcome, finally, in my sphere of influence. Of course, Panama Canal, British control. Sad face. But we also have, was it Paraguay? We shall increase our opinion of ourselves there. Looks like British India is in a bit of trouble here. You can see that there's British communists everywhere and also fascists. Sweden keeps asking me for an alliance. I don't really know if I should accept or not. Also, question: should I be influencing Russia? Oh, we have a truce with them. Of course we do, right? But the Germans are trying. Same continent is not. Yeah, sorry, Sweden. If and when, rather when, I think Paradox makes Victoria 3, they've got to read up on Brazilian history. To be honest, I mean, it'd just be so much nicer to have events where you can actually incorporate Portugal into the Brazilian Empire, or vice versa. I think it'd just make it more exciting to play as maybe even Portugal. A bleak day today for Brazil as Rio de Janeiro's financial district reels from the shock of a burst speculation bubble. Real estate prices have been soaring for the past year and a half, and while some analysts have warned for quite some time that the prices have been artificially high due to the effects of inflationary overconsumption, the mandators of the bull market have left any such warnings unheeded. In government circles, cries for increased bank and currency regulations are being heard, calling for an end to what is referred to as the failures of dog-eat-dog capitalism. Regulate, loan interest goes up, factory throughput minus 20%, and for 2 years, RGO throughput minus 20%. Or, balance government budget, and we have this exact same effect but for 1 year less, and we gain 1 militancy for everyone. Yeah, let's balance the government budget. I know it's higher militancy, but I think we'll survive, hopefully. I mean, the communists might rise again, but we'll just march through and crush them, just, you know, with the Communist Party in power. LOL. Russia wants us to back them in their crisis, which is against the liberation of Poland. I'm gonna go ahead and decline. I'm gonna go on the fence and then hope that... Oh, Poland wants us to back them. Okay, you know what? Let's take a look at all the alliances. So they're allied with France, the United Kingdom, and yada yada. Germany could be on our side. I mean, you know what? Let's take a leading role for once. I actually want to see where this leads. Oh, they actually accepted. Holy shit. We didn't even have to do anything. Fantastic. Poland is now a free country, and we are, of course, going to do that, and we are going to try to influence Poland, but the problem is, of course, they're in a whole other... Actually, no, they're already in my sphere. Fantastic. You know what? Yeah, well, that's amazing. Alright, I should have done that more, because you get, you know, free sphere countries when you do that. Expensive job. Minimum wages. Why should we need that? We have always paid our workers exactly what they have earned, and they have always been able to afford housing, clothing, and food. Well, not the best housing, clothing, or food, but they've got by, didn't they? Our minimum wage policies have upset some of the Brazilian employers, who are now exerting pressure, lobbying for a minimum wage repeal on several influential members of both the parliament and our own cabinet. Our own cabinet, really, from the Communist Party. We'll keep the minimum wages as they are. I mean, who cares about the West Moroccan rich strata gaining militancy? Oh, look, we've propelled ourselves to 6th place. I don't know where we got all that prestige from. Maybe from the crisis. I guess crises are good things, after all. 1928, maybe the our economic crisis will stop soon. We are earning quite a lot of money. Tariffs are at 0. Things are looking good. Alright, generous unemployment subsidies will do us good. In fact, yeah, it's only 200. The pensions are way more now, but it doesn't matter. Our military spending is actually quite crazy. Look at that. And we never really use the Navy to its full capacity, because then it becomes super expensive. Polish, Lithuanian pan-nationalists, communists, pan-nationalists, communists. Okay, so the communists might be a problem here for our sphere. We can't really reach it. I mean, we could send down some troops. If we do see them losing anything, we'll send troops. Danish conquest of Götaland. Ew. No. I would even... I mean, now you won't. But before, I would. If I knew that was gonna happen, I would have helped you out. We hosted a trade fair. It cost us like just a few £100, and we got 13 prestige from that. So yes, totally worth it. Military access, no. I'd actually want to see this entire region like become small states, so I could just go ahead and invade. I really like Victoria too, I must admit. The only thing that bothers me is how little conquest there is. I know in this time period it was mostly colonial conquest, and you know, but again, I like complaining. I'm sorry, I complain a lot. I'm very sorry. It's just I like complaining. It's sort of a cathartic thing, you know. Complaint. Acceptable safety regulations. Voila. Oh look, actually less than half of our population consider themselves to be Brazilian. In fact, this... okay, 67% in Guangdong are you. You, yes. And that's 12% of the total. Although there are some other provinces with EU populations, I think. In fact... wait, so... actually, Guangdong is a full-fledged province, that's why we can build in it. You know, I just realized this, but conquering China might be an interesting strategy for the extra population. Huh. Bread riots. Barricades have been erected on Main Street and bakery shop windows have been smashed, following spontaneous outbursts of looting. Food shortages are becoming ever more widespread in Brazil, and pent-up anger is spilling onto the streets. Many blame our government's protectionist policies for the failures in the food market. Yeah, but that's funny because I'm not actually being protectionist. My tariffs are at 0. But okay, reshuffle the cabinet. I like how if we do market-determined exchange rates with the plus 5% admin efficiency, we actually can discover hyperinflation. And it's hilarious, just absolutely hilarious, that if the economic policy is laissez-faire, there's a 1% extra chance of discovering that. So that's sort of hilarious, to be honest. But let's go for Keynesian economics, just for that extra prestige boost. Shall we host the 10th Olympic Games? 10th? Guys, okay, the last event I got was the 4th, or 6th, sorry. But okay, invite our nation to host the next Olympic Games. Should we accept this responsibility? Yes, it's an excellent opportunity to show our nation's progress, or no? Yes, of course, we're gonna say yes. Look at that extra prestige. More score, please. Oh, to war by Jingo, we need a strong military. Okay, so apparently Jacobin rebels have passed political reforms in France, and they are no longer a communist country. The Communist Party still holds power though, but the Jacobins have passed through voting reforms. The rest is anarcho-liberals, it seems, and fascists. The Russians offer an alliance. No. We're actually gonna have a different focus for once. We're gonna encourage bureaucrats here in Guangdong, get that admin efficiency up, and maybe, who knows, make this into a state. Oh wait, it's already a state. What I mean is to make it a better state. We can actually, I totally forgot about this, but you can actually go province by province under each region here. And you can see that Brazilians are actually apparently moving in, or people are becoming Brazilian in Guangdong. So that's very nice to see, and that's why I like full citizenship over anything else. The Chinese have surpassed Japan. The Chinese are so... they get on my nerves. I mean, what are you doing? Your prestige is horrible. I guess you're industrializing, that's why your score is so high, I guess, you know. But militarily, that's the only reason you're a thing. Ah, communists have risen in China. Okay, go ahead and crush them quickly before we are overrun. Overall though, yeah, they can't be that many, because we don't actually have that high militiancy. Me say, load the banana boat all night long. Daylight, I wanna go home, the banana boat song. With the expansion of our colonial ventures, goods previously unknown to the general public are increasingly being shipped overseas to be enjoyed back home. A banana boat has just docked in one of our harbors, and our citizens marvel at the sweetness and strange looks of our of this amazing new fruit previously unknown to the Brazilian public, as it's being unloaded by the crate load. People are quite literally going bananas. Right. I know this was written for European states, but you know, bananas are a thing in Brazil, and they have been grown there for quite a while, I hope. 8-hour workday, we'll finally pass that. And industrially, we're doing... I just can't seem to keep up with the demands of, like, building more factories. I can't do it. Maybe we need, like here in Minas Gerais, maybe I need a different type of factory. Radio factories are actually about to be unlocked when we're done with behaviorism there, but I guess since we only have one airplane factory there, we could go for another airplane factory, maybe. There we go, radio factories. That was what I was looking forward to. In fact, let's see, what do radios need? Radio factories need electric gear and glass. Electric gear and glass. Do we have a glass factory here? No, we don't. But we could build it. Yeah, let's build it here. Let's build a radio factory right here. Diplomatic tension has caused international crisis in the Western Siebenbungen. Okay. Let's check it out. Where is the crisis? The crisis is here? Yeah? Western Sing. Is that correct? No, it's Romania versus Hungary. But Romania, oh right, okay, yeah. It must be this. Okay. I don't know if I want to support anyone yet. Romania is asking our assistance. The British are backing Hungary. I'm not really a fan of backing Hungary, or rather Romania, because Hungary is actually in the German sphere, and they're pretty powerful, so I'm gonna say no. Crisis failed to enlist international interest. I think that was actually the last crisis we'll be seeing in the game, which is a little bit unfortunate. Ooh, Hungary wants an alliance. Hungary's still allied with Germany. Yes, I'm gonna ally you. And Italy. Oh, I mean, you're nice and all, but you've backed away from being nice to Germany. Our athletes are victorious. I guess this is in the Olympic Games that we have hosted, so I guess that's also really nice. Do we need to build anything? Expand railways. That's about it. What's funny about the railways is how I can see other people's railways. It's a bit odd. Like, I can't see everyone's railways, just a few countries' railways. I think that's weird, to be honest, actually. Like, I can't see the German, or maybe because it's at 5. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I can see the entire world, and maybe everyone's at 5, except these regions. Oh, wait, what can we can actually increase our opinion of Persia. Increase opinion. Oh, airplane flying out outside. Is it a military plane? The Americans are trying their best to hold on to Paraguay, and it's actually becoming really annoying. I'm almost thinking we won't be able to make it until the end of the game. But that's fine, you know, we tried our best. Oh, of course. Did they just remove me? Oh, fuck. The Russians removed me from the sphere. Alright, let's ban the... Wait, if I removes all influence, ban embassy, prevents them from doing any diplomatic actions. Yeah, let's ban the, or no, let's decrease the German opinion. and then we'll try to get back. I don't think we're getting Poland back, but still, we had it for a moment. And now someone pushed us down to cordial. God damn it. Must have been the... yeah, someone. We actually have more adult males than the French. So that's nice. And we're obviously not even close to the British. I think that's mostly because they hold India, Spain, also much smaller than us. Italy, how are you doing in population-wise? Wow, we're actually bigger. Germany, of course, a behemoth, 42 million there. Hungary, pretty okay. Russia's probably huge. Oh, we can actually compete with them in terms of adult males. Portugal's attacking France and the Ottoman Empire on the Portuguese colonial conquest of French South Angola. I will join, and I will, of course, make this into a third world war. Although France and the Ottomans aren't even great powers, so this will be very one-sided. I'm just going to invite everyone to smash some French ass. I actually went ahead and allied Spain as well, just to get them in on the fighting. And now for the big boy. Oh, they won't accept. Alright, whatever. We'll, I guess we can crush them on our own. Moroccan nationalists have enforced their demands on the... Ooh. Ooh. Establish protectorate. Wait, what's our infamy like? 8. So if I do justify on Morocco... I mean, we only have 2 years here, so this is very tight. But we could establish, and 10, that's 128 days. Let's do it. Establish protectorate. I feel like Game Victoria 2 should give you way less infamy. There should be a tech where you start gaining less infamy, especially from taking colonial regions. Because, you know, acquiring 10 infamy for a place in the sun for 1 is ludicrous. But what will our war goal be? I mean, I'd love to take something important, you know, but actually, wait, is this... Oh, this is French. I mean, this is useless, to be honest. What is it? What does it produce? It produces timber and, like, fish. No, just timber. I'm thinking... Apparently the Niger Delta is the most important region in colonial Africa. So I'm thinking, I mean, I could add them to my sphere of influence. It would be interesting, but that's 50 war. So I'm thinking, yeah, we'll acquire a place in the sun, Niger Delta. I mean, I'd love the Suez Canal, but I think this is cheaper and better. So let's do it. Another stock market crash. Voila, wonderful. So the French are offering a peace. I'm just gonna double check. So the Niger Delta, South Angola, the Rhone, and Ottoman Montenegro. Entire alliance turn. Yes, alright. Boom. Peace. There's peace in our time. Look at that. Much better borders. Of course, Montenegro is free here with one little tiny province. It sort of bothers me. Of course, we never really fixed this up, but that's because of the whole infamy limit issues in the game. But now we border Sokoto, so we could probably actually attack them. Even though we only have 2 years left, and soon we can actually attack Morocco. The Niger Delta actually had 791,000 in population, which is nice. Also, I noticed that a lot of people were becoming French here. I just want to know how the AI does that. How does it incentivize French culture in a colonial province? Liberian fascists. Actually, Liberia, how are you doing? Civilized nation. Yeah, okay, I'm preparing to go to war against Morocco. I want that peace. I want it. war is declared. We're gonna march straight into Fez here, and we need a second army, I think. Well, if we do, we'll just shuffle them by ship, probably. Actually, let's crush their army in the battle. We need to have a battle to gain war score. We can increase our opinion in Poland. I guess that's okay. The fascists have taken over, the faction at least, and we can finally pass the last reform and research the last few things here. Why did Germany give up the alliance with me? Stupid. No. Italy also, why did you give up the alliance with me? I don't understand. Greece has turned from communist to fascist, and the entire world is at war to liberate Thessaly to the Ottoman Empire. Alright, we had to occupy literally everything for this. We're gonna annex Morocco. And look at that, much better looking. Algeria should also disappear in the French territory there. Actually, all of Africa should just be Brazilian, just for the border, the nice borders. But alas, we can't do that. So we're just gonna march these guys south and be happy with what we have. Apparently, I have to choose sides. You know, 1930s. Polish liberation of East Galicia. Poland is declaring a war on Hungary. I'm gonna have to give up on you, Poland, and accept the Hungarian call. The Hungarians are, of course, going to win this. Although, that was really stupid, Hungary. What are you doing? No, yeah, but elections are starting. It doesn't really matter, because by the time they're done, the game will have ended. I think it's January 1st, 1936, the exact date when Hearts of Iron starts. There used to be a converter between Victoria 2 and Hearts of Iron 3. I think, like, it wasn't an official one, but I think some people might have worked on a continuation of that into Hearts of Iron 4. Let's look at our spot. We are 400 points ahead and only 100 points behind there. Realistically, I don't think we're gonna catch up in a few months like that, but we could. In fact, if we just build more dreadnoughts, 2, 3, that's too many. Wait, another one in... No, that's too many. Alright. White peace. Okay. That works too. Ukrainian nationalists. That's quite a bunch there. We actually went ahead and finally raised our budget for naval supplies. Maybe that changes our score a bit. Who knows? We are the third biggest military power, which is quite nice to see. And what can we do? Spain. Increase opinion to friendly, and soon you'll be right in my sphere. Ethiopia still under tight control of the British, and so is Paraguay. We're gonna reach December 31st here, and we're gonna do a tour of the world. Germany number 1, US number 2, United Kingdom number 3, Chinese Empire. Actually, finally added someone to their sphere. We came number 6th, which is pretty nice for, you know, someone who... It's been many, I think 5 years at least. It was before I started to do Let's Plays. That's the last time I played Brazil. And the last Let's Play was, what, 3 years ago or something. So it's been a long time. We have the Russian Empire there, Italy. But the differences between us, I think... yeah, we could definitely continue and move on to the top. Obviously, there are some people who are much better at this game than me, but practice makes perfect. Also, okay, so tour of the world. America, just horrible. What the hell was this? You know, horrible border war, just disgusting. Then we have Mexico. Mexico was cut down to their modern borders. The United States of Central America are still around. Even though they've been split by Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Panama, or rather the Colombian region of Panama there. Caribbean, We still have Spanish Cuba as a colony. In fact, our sphere extends almost over Spain, almost. And that would then become part of our sphere as well. South America, basically all in our sphere except for Paraguay, of course. And the borders down south are also tremendously horrifying, but I think Brazil in and of itself actually looks pretty nice. If we took Paraguay, maybe it'd look even better. Then we have Africa. I think we got a pretty nice chunk of that. Not as good as I would have hoped. Normally my strategy, if I'm playing a European power, is of course to take Sokoto, Ethiopia, Egypt, etc., and then expand from there. But we were sphered right when the race started, and that meant that we fell behind a bit in the colonial game, and we didn't really have the naval power necessary to colonize everything or compete with the British and the French. But in the end, I think, you know, we've gotten a very nice chunk, in fact, in terms of landmass, and we got the best regions. I think the most dense areas are definitely here and here in Ethiopia. This Saharan area, not the best, but we got Morocco in the end, which is nice. Europe looking pretty border-gorish. I think I'm proud of having helped to create this Italy here. No offense, French, but this actually looks pretty nice. France had a stupendous fall down. They were reaching pretty high, and then they collapsed. Portugal has been in our sphere all along. Spain about to be sphered. United Kingdom still there, nothing major. Sweden still holds on to Norway. Denmark lost the war against Sweden, I guess, and we actually released Poland, as we saw in this episode. Was it this episode? Maybe it was the last one. So that was pretty cool to see. Hungary expanded also pretty well there. Austria-Hungary collapsed and became part of this sort of Großdeutschland that we have there. Ottoman Empire, quite a mess to be honest. Would definitely wanted to have, you know, cleaned this out and made it look nicer, but this is the world of Victoria 2. You don't always get the nice borders you want. Persia seems to have been pushed there by Russia. India still not completely united by Britain. Actually, the first time I haven't seen them take everything. Maybe there's some sort of event that they haven't passed through. Australia, New Zealand looking normal. Dutch, Indonesia. We actually got parts in Southeast Asia, which is pretty cool. We have the Japanese sphere. They've been great power for a long time now. Chinese Empire made a comeback, and that is about it, to be honest, on the map. Industrially, I mean, industry is the major selling point of this game, and I think I had to learn quite a lot. This is one of my better playthroughs with a secondary power with Brazil. Before, I haven't even been able to industrialize properly like this. So I think I've definitely learned some stuff. I have a friend who says that there are ways to use the industry early on to outmaneuver and outplay everyone else by creating monopolies. So that's a strategy that I'm looking forward to learning in the future playthrough. Budget-wise, we're doing great. Communist parties in power in the empire. We're still an empire, of course. A democratic with we've passed all the reforms, which is quite an achievement, I think. We have a lot of immigrants. Our population has reached 105 million, which is pretty impressive considering that when I was born in 96, I think the population was 190 million. So at this rate, this Brazil will definitely be there. Of course, it didn't. The real Brazil didn't have colonies everywhere. Technologically, we almost researched everything. We just missed a few things in the naval tree there. Overall, our population mostly farmers still and laborers, but we went from 14 to 18% craftsmen there in the last 10 years, I think. So quite an improvement. 45% consider themselves Brazilian. We still have, because of our colonies, we have many other nationalities. Our dominant religion is Catholic, followed by Mahayana, Sunni, Coptic, and Animist. And here's a breakdown of all the things. I think, yeah, I mean, this was a great playthrough, to be honest. We saw 2 world wars, and we participated in 2 world wars, so that was also very exciting to see. And now, I think we're gonna reach the end of the game. Game over. 100 momentous years have passed, and we have entered the modern age. The world is radically different place. How did your country do? Brazil, a great power. 695 prestige, 1,951 industry points, 1,073 military points, and 8 million reserve gold, which is a nice buffer. Population, again, almost 27 million. Provinces, 230. Factories, 75. Literacy, 88. It was at 99%, remember, before we took southern China there. And we have 334 brigades and 25 warships. Most of our ships are actually just transport ships, rolled by the Communist Party under our glorious emperor, Gabster the Third. I'll pretend it's the third. Technologies, 147. There's 150, I guess. Inventions, 374. So obviously the gap between me and Germany is quite tremendous, but they start off as a great power, of course, and so do the other players, except for France. France really failed there. But that's about it. I think this quits to the main menu, and I'd like to thank you so much for joining me in this adventure. I'm looking forward to doing more Victoria 2 Let's Plays. If you haven't checked out my other content, I do strategy games, mostly Paradox and many other things, so do check that out. If you have any suggestions for countries I should play, let me know down below. If you have any suggestions for strategies or just anything, just let me know down below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. This has been GameGabster. Farewell.